So that was Pete Seeger's version of Which Side Are You On that we just heard, and that's the one that got a lot more widespread. And that was written by Florence Reese, as I said, who is from Harlan County, Kentucky. Another Kentucky native is up next, and this is Sarah Gunning. She was born in Kentucky in 1910, and when she was growing up, the economy all over Appalachia was in transition from agriculture towards coal mining, which I think today we think of that part of Appalachia as just always having been a center for coal mining, and during this time is really when it was starting out. Conditions were poor, people were scared, and things seemed to be getting worse. And Sarah's half-sister was a singer called Aunt Molly Jackson. She was already getting famous for her protest songs, had been invited to New York to sing some of her pro-union tunes and her protest songs against the conditions in the coal mines. And Sarah followed suit after her half-sister. She was pulled out of destitute Kentucky after a couple of her children had already starved to death due to the lack of food and really any supplies there in the deteriorating conditions. She ended up in New York City in the 30s, became friends with Woody Guthrie, Pete Seeger, and that whole scene of folk, country artists and protest music makers. And we're going to hear a lot of their stuff later in the show. Sarah's songs are radical, angry, and plaintive, like this one, which is called I Hate the Capitalist System. And as she said in an interview at the time, she didn't really even know what the capitalist system was. She just knew that the way that the coal mines were set up was disastrous. And later she found out that she was right on with hating the capitalist system, and that was exactly what she meant with this tune. So we're going to hear an excerpt from a video that was made about Sarah Gunning's life, and this is her singing this song live sometime in the late 70s.
Told us about Surrey, and when we went to see Surrey, well, it was too pitiful a sight for to ask her to sing, and Barnacle took the whole family back to New York with her, and the old shack they lived in was all torn apart and holes in it, and I'm sure you've heard her songs describe it. Well, her songs was true. She didn't have to make up anything.
I hate the capitalist system. I'll tell you the reason why. They cause me so much suffering, and my dearest friends to die. Oh yes, I guess you wonder what they have done to me. I'm going to tell you, mister, my husband had TB, brought on by hard work and low wages, and not enough to eat, going ragged and hungry, no shoes on his feet. I guess you'll say he is lazy and did not want to work, but I must say you're crazy, for work he did not shirk. My husband was a coal miner. He worked and risked his life to try to support 3 children, himself, his mother, and wife. I had a darling mother, for her I often cry, but with those rotten conditions, my mother had to die. Well, what killed your mother? I hear these capitalists say, a debt of hard work and starvation my mother had to pay. Well, please excuse me, but it was Pelegri, that starvation disease. I had a blue-eyed baby, the darling of my heart, but from my little darling, her mother had to part. The rich and mighty Caplis, they dressed in jewels and silk, while my darling blue-eyed baby, she starved to death for milk. Well, they call this a land of plenty, and to them I guess it's true, but that's for the rich old Caplis, and not workers like me and you. Well, what can we do about it to right this dreadful wrong? We're all gonna join the union, for the union makes us strong. What can I do about it to these men of care and might? I'll tell you, Mr. Caplis, I'm going to fight, fight, fight.
And that was one of very few recordings of Sarah Gunning singing that song, I Hate the Capitalist System. She was told by the record producer she was working with in New York that she should tone that one down a little bit, but she stayed with it. So, and in the background now we're hearing some traditional Irish songs which are in a really similar style to that traditional unaccompanied vocalist Appalachian style that Sarah Gunning sung in. And I'm putting that on because the next artist that I've got up is Jean Ritchie. She's known as the mother of folk music. She is famous for her dulcimer playing, but she also got a Fulbright to travel to the British Isles and study the connections between American ballads and the traditional songs of the British Isles. And as you can hear, there really are a lot of similarities, and a lot of those Appalachian tunes did grow out of traditional songs back in Ireland and England and Scotland. So this song is called Astor Macree, and sung in Gaelic. And next up is Jean Ritchie's The Ellen and Don't Stop Here Anymore.
Born and raised at the mouth of the Hazard Holler. Coal cars roaring and rumbling past my door. Now they're standing rusty, rolling empty, and the Ellen Inn don't stop here anymore. I used to think my daddy black man with scrip enough to buy the company store, but now he goes downtown with empty pockets and his face as white as February snow. I was born and raised at the mouth of the Hazard Holler. Coal cars roaring and rumbling past my door. Now they're standing rusty, rolling empty, and the Ellen Inn don't stop here anymore. Last night I dreamt I went down to the office to get my payday like I done before. Them old cudsy vines had covered up the doorway, and there was trees
Carl Denson and Charlie Tuna are coming to Missoula. On Tuesday, February 15th, Carl Denson, a critically acclaimed tenor man from the Grey Boy All-Stars and leader of his own Tiny Universe band, and Charlie Tuna, the distinct baritone MC from Jurassic 5 and Ozomatli, will bring their live show to the Top Hat. Doors open at 9 and the show starts at 10. That's Carl Denson and Charlie Tuna on Tuesday, February 15th at the Top Hat. For more information, you can visit seafarerentertainment.com.
I am a man of conscience sorrow. I have seen trouble all my days. I'll bid farewell to old Kentucky. It's a place where I was born and raised. For 6 long years I've been in trouble. It's no pleasure here on earth I find. It's far in this world I'm bound to ramble. I have no friends to help me now. Just fare you well, my own true love you. I never expect to see you no more. For I'm bound to ride that northern railroad. Perhaps I'll die upon the train. You may bury me in some deep valley. For many years there I may lay. Still you can learn to love another while I am sleeping in my grave. It's maybe your friends thinks I'm a stranger. My face you never will see no more. But there is one promise that I'll give it. I'll meet you home